folks at Carriker Services, your vending specialist here in Lincoln. Their quality service and expertise has earned them a fine reputation. That's Carriker Services, on the air because they care.
You never think cancer will happen to you. I smoked for over 40 years. My doctor recommended that I get annual lung cancer screening. They were able to catch my cancer at stage 1. It's never too late to quit. Even if you're still smoking, you need to ask your doctor about annual lung cancer screening. Just 30 minutes a year could save your life.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
At Midwest Bank, they want to thank all the generous donors who helped make their 2024 Turkey Drive for Schools a success. Thanks to the generosity, they raised enough money to provide 153 families across 6 different schools in Lincoln with a full Thanksgiving meal. With your support, they made Thanksgiving Day for those families a little brighter. They want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas. Your community, your bank. Midwest Bank. Member FDIC.
Your Christmas list changes a lot as you get older. Dreams of video games, remote control cars, and baseball gloves turn into dreams of shoes. You know, practical things. Brown Shoe Fit is the king of shoes in Lincoln, with brands like Sorel, UGG, Brooks, Hoka, and more to make you fashionable and comfortable. Grab a new Ridge wallet or buy 3, get 1 free on smart wool socks for the ultimate stocking stuffer. And don't forget a reliable gift card for that hard-to-buy person in your life. Brown Shoe Fit at 66th and Q in Lincoln.
Golfing in 72 degrees and perfect conditions in Nebraska doesn't seem possible in December, but it is. Double Eagle Golf is your escape from the bone-chilling cold outside and a reason to keep the clubs out year-round. Book your holiday parties at Double Eagle Golf and make plans to join them for a New Year's Eve party. Gift cards make a great stocking stuffer for Christmas, and don't forget to look ahead to 2025 as spring leagues begin in February. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street. Online at doubleeagle.golf. League One Volleyball is coming to Omaha this January. Featuring Olympic medalist Jordan Larson and Justine Wong-Arantes, Love Omaha Volleyball is Omaha's newest pro team. The inaugural season will showcase some of the world's best volleyball players, from medalists to NCAA champions and international superstars. With the action kicking off on January 24th at the Liberty First Credit Union Arena. Visit LOVB.com for more information and to purchase tickets. Volleyball is the next major league.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
Husker Nation, Nebraska is heading to the Pinstripe Bowl, and J-Tech Construction and Solar is here to help you score big on your home this season. Buy any 2 trades, windows, siding, roofing, solar, gutters, or doors, and save up to 20% off. Don't wait until the final whistle. Act now. J-Tech delivers expert craftsmanship and unbeatable savings for your home. Whether it's a new roof, energy-efficient windows, or solar panels that power your home like a champion, they've got you covered. Call 402-261-3682 to schedule your free estimate today. J-Tech Construction and Solar, proud sponsors of Husker football.
This is the Adam Carriker Show.
Position right of the quarterback, out of the shotgun, 1st and 20. Jailbreak screen in the air. It is tipped. It is intercepted by Carriker at the Missouri 21-yard line.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, 8-year NFL vet and All-American defensive lineman Adam Carriker.
Shotgun snap to Everett. He's got the left arm going, and now he's got a whole lot of Adam Carriker who rips him down inside the 25-yard line.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Adam Carriker.
Welcome to the Carriker Chronicles, the People Show. Checking the pulse of Husker Nation, brought to you by DPS Concrete Construction. Ladies and gentlemen, check them out at dpsconstruction.net. Also, CarrikerChronicles.com. It's just science, ladies and gentlemen. It's where all your Husker sports hopes and dreams will come true. All right, you want to know how I'm in the freaking holiday spirit? I don't like wearing long sleeves. I don't like wearing things that make me hot because I'm large. I get hot. I sweat a lot. Yet here I am in the holiday spirit. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a loaded show for, I even told my wife, Angie, I'm like, today's show is loaded. Like, things just kept accumulating throughout the week. Boom, we're going to drop them all here today. Nebraska's recent transfer portal commits, who they're going after, how our class is looking so far, how we compare to other schools, how is the NIL. Also, Nebraska's coaching staff. We've known Addison Williams was going to be the secondaries coach and Terry Braden was going to be the D-line coach. They're officially on staff and they can start working with the players right now in bowl prep. Okay, and if you're excited to see these guys get a head start working with the players for next year, Dana Holgorsen working on his offense for next year. I know he's currently using Nebraska's terminology from this past season, at least through the bowl game, but he can start working with Jacory and Dylan and all these other guys. And if you're excited to see what that looks like in the bowl game and going forward, and smash the like button. But here's the other thing I'm going to start it out with. And I was sent this question on Facebook. I check YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, the gram of Insta. What else am I on? X. I check the comments. I respond from time to time, but I am definitely checking the comments, and I am pretty interactive, I might add. But I thought this was interesting. Scott hit me up, said I feel better about the overall coaching now than I did 1 year ago. I was like, interesting. Tony White and others are big losses, but with improvement on the offensive side of the ball, I think we're better off as a whole. He's talking about the coaching staff. And I was like, man, that's an interesting perspective. So I dove into that just a smidge. Now, real quick, if you haven't done so yet, make sure you subscribe, all right, and ring that notification bell. On Monday, I'm going to drop another show. I know for sure there could be 14 million gut reactions between now and then or after that show. I don't know. So make sure you don't miss any of that content. But I'm going to start looking ahead to the bowl game and a bunch of other things as well I've got in the back of my mind. So stay tuned for that. But you look at Nebraska's coaching staff right now. Now, it used to be you can only have 10 assistant coaches in college football. They changed that rule last June. It's unlimited now. So the way I see it at the moment, we have 13, okay, and Corey Campbell would be 14, the strength conditioning coach, who's just as important as anyone else, by the way. But 13 assistant football coaches. All right, associate head coach Phil Snow, Dana Holgorsen, John Butler, Ed Foley, EJ Barthel. Okay, the list goes on and on. 6 on offense, 5 on defense, 1 special teams, Ed Foley. I'll address him here in just a minute. Now, if you look at the staff, there's 4 former defensive coordinators, and I pointed this out before, on this staff. From John Butler to Phil Snow to Matt Rule to Addison Williams. So that's a lot of experience. How's that going to mesh? You look at the offensive side of the ball. We still have 4 former offensive coordinators on the offensive side of the ball. I'm curious, how do you fans feel about that? Is that a lot of experience and here we go, or is this too many cooks in the kitchen? I kind of feel better about it than I don't. I really do. Because as long as there's a clear chain of command, like Dana's got the offense, and I believe Matt Rule's like, hey, John Butler's in charge of the defense and Phil Snow's going to be helping out Matt, also a second pair of eyes for the defense. But as long as there's a clear chain of command, it can be a good thing. On offense, keep in mind, Matt Rule's a former offensive coordinator. Obviously, Dana Holgorsen, Marcus Satterfield, Glenn Thomas, all these guys. So we got all sorts of experience. We got 13 different assistant coaches, 6 on offense, 5 on defense, 1 on the special teams. Now, real quick, I said when Addison Williams was rumored to be hired. When he is officially hired, I will talk about him more. So here's just a couple of brief things about our new secondaries coach. Also, shout out to Terry Braden, who's officially the new D-line coach as well. Phil Snow, as I mentioned, associate head coach. Now, he's been a defensive coordinator twice in his career, Addison Williams. Now, at UCF, they were the #1 pass defense in the Big 12. That conference throws the ball. They don't run it great. They don't play a lot of defense, but they throw the ball. All right. In 2023, UCF's defense only allowed 12 passing touchdowns on the entire year, which was the fewest since 2001. In 2022, their defense ranked 5th nationally in red zone defense, which is something we got to get better at, something that Matt Rule has addressed specifically. And in Williams' first season at UCF, they ranked 7th nationally in pass efficiency defense, which was up 97 spots from the year before he arrived on campus for the Knights. Now, I do agree, Tony White, Terrence Knight, and their big losses, but I love guys like Phil Simpson, Addison Williams. They're great hires. Terry Braden, who ironically is a former quarterback if you go back through his career, but 8 years with the Chiefs, 4 years with the defensive line, won 3 Super Bowls. Lots of coaches on this staff have NFL experience. Now, players love that. When you're trying to bring in high school players, you're trying to bring in transfer portal guys, almost everyone wants to go to the next level. That's their main goal. 19 times out of 20, 95% of the time. Hey, this guy coached 20 years. This guy coached X amount of years in the NFL. This is what we're doing here. It's going to get you ready. Players love that. He's also brought in a lot of guys that are very good recruiters, from Simpson to Williams, to a lot of these other guys are very good recruiters. Our defense can get better this next year, but doesn't have to. And now, obviously, if our defense is better next year, I'm going to love that. But it doesn't even have to do that. Can it just play relatively the same? I'd love if our pass defense was slightly to a whole lot better. But when you think about the pass coverages, that's where we had some issues last year. And Matt Rule talked in his press conference. You just got the feeling like they were not in the same, I know for a fact they weren't on the same page in that defensive meeting room last year. There was button heads. There was guys who wanted to run one coverage or a different coverage. There was conflict. They weren't on the same page. And Matt Rule even said, we want to do these things in the future going forward. So the feeling that I strongly get and am aware of is that the feeling in that defensive meeting room is much more guys being on a cohesive, similar to same page than there was a year ago. And honestly, that's more important. Okay, the sum of all the parts matters more than the individual parts and how good they are individually. Because together, you got to come together, whether it's a player on a team or a coach on a coaching staff. All right, I believe they're going to be more on the same page next year. So maybe our defense is better next year. Now, we got a lot of younger players, a lot of talented guys, but a lot of younger players, a relatively newer staff as far as being able to gel and know each other. I think Rule didn't go for the splashy hire because he flat out said it. And I've had conversations with him where he looked me in the eye. He said, Adam, sometimes you just got to have the guts to do what you believe is best, whether it's popular or not. And he flat out said in one of his press conferences, hey, I didn't go for the splashy hire. He made good hires and hires that he believes in, and that's what matters the most, ladies and gentlemen. Now, the biggest question on this defense, ironically, with all due respect to John Butler, who has as good a resume as anybody, any coach on this entire frickin' team, offense or defense, maybe outside of Dana Holgorsen as the OC. But the biggest question is John Butler, simply because the secondary struggled last year. And yes, I've heard a million reasons as to why or why not or whatever the case may be. He's got the resume. He's got the experience. It didn't go great last year with the secondary. I think had it gone differently last year, Husker fans would frickin' love all these defensive hires. And obviously, you never want to lose guys like Tony White, Terrence Knight, and I wish them all the best down in Tallahassee. But there's reason for legit optimism as far as this defense being as good as it was last year and the staff potentially being on the same page and as a result being better collectively together next year. Now, like I said, maybe our defense is better, but just at least be equal to what you were last year as an overall whole. Now, I fully expect our offense to be better under Dana Holgorsen. I think most people do. We got an experienced quarterback, a very good running back, Emmett Johnson. I know Dante's gone. Okay, wish him the best. Young, talented wide receivers, Ja'Cory Barney, Jalen Lloyd, signed a transfer wide receiver yesterday. Probably more wide receivers, or at least a wide receiver yet to come. I'm going to get into some of those guys later on. Young players like Carter Nelson, a Taysom Hill type player like Heinrich Harburg. Okay, the offensive line, to me, it's again a question mark coming into this. And I know we haven't even finished this past season, but there's so much transfer portal, signing day, bowl game. It's the in-season, off-season is a mess. So as I'm looking into the bowl game, as I'm looking into next year, the offensive line, what are they going to do next year? Again, they're a question mark. Frankly, I'm tired of saying that, if I'm being honest with you. But they have brought in, via visits to Lincoln, the number 2 offensive tackle, an all-MAC offensive tackle they've offered, and they've offered another Power 4 offensive starting tackle as well. Again, I'll get into some of those here later on in the video. I do expect our offense to be better. I believe our defense has the potential to be equal to, possibly greater than last year. Again, young, talented guys on that defensive side of the ball. Will the defensive coaches get on the same page? And how does Butler do? He's got the resume. I ain't questioning that. All right, special teams. Is Ed Foley back or not? This has just plain simply not been addressed. We brought in a long snapper. We brought in a punter. We brought in all these specialists. It seems to me like he's going to be back, but it hasn't been addressed. His resume, again, is very good. I have nothing but love and respect for his resume. Special teams the last 2 years has not been. The facts are what they are. Don't care about feelings. Okay, and again, the small indicators seem to be that he's going to be back, but it hasn't been addressed directly just yet. Nothing is for sure. This is a question that needs to be answered, in my humble opinion. I believe with Dayton running our offense and some good hires that Rule has made, that our coaching staff absolutely can be better next year than it's even been the past couple of previous seasons. Our coaching staff may very well be better this year than last year. The question marks are, is the defensive staff going to gel? What are we doing on special teams? And is the offensive line going to play better? All right, I want to give a shout out before I get into a whole plethora of other things to our sponsors, DPS Concrete Construction. Check them out at dpsconstruction.net. They are your concrete and retaining wall experts. Ladies and gentlemen, there is nobody better. Also, Allen Capital Group, check them out at allencapgroup.com. That's ALLENCAP group.com. They have next level solutions for next level needs. Check them out and their offices in Ogallala, Grand Island, and Omaha. That's allencapgroup.com, ladies and gentlemen. All right, here's a couple of other quick things. According to Nebraska OC Dana Holgerson, there's been a constant at dinners and meetings with transfer portal prospects. And that constant is Dylan Raiola. Gary Sharp put this out. A local fourth grader has a simple Christmas wish to play catch with Dylan Raiola, and then the quarterback showed up at his school today. Props to Dylan Raiola and other student athletes and the impact they have with simple gestures. This is not even, I've talked about how Dylan's doing everything he can to prop up Nebraska football and all Husker sports and peer recruit. This is not my opinion. These are things that everybody can see. I'm just putting them in the show because it matches what I've been seeing as well. All right. Oh, this is funny. Our Iowa friends reminded me Raiola was able to throw for 2,500 plus yards and complete 65% of his passes despite the struggles with the OC. An Iowa quarterback hasn't accomplished this feat since 1987, a year before current Huskers player Ismael Smith Flores' father arrived at Iowa. I just thought that was interesting. It'll land better if we beat Iowa next year. Nebraska quarterback Dylan Raiola says he was never really shopping around at the press conference earlier this week for the bowl game after the regular season for another team. Speculation about his status led Raiola to make a statement to affirm his commitment to the Huskers. He said, and I quote, "It was unfortunate," Raiola says, "that he had to do that. I'm playing quarterback at Nebraska," end quote. Sometimes when there is smoke, there is fire. I will say this, we live in a day and age where you just have to make a public statement just to let people know you're coming back to your current team. That is crazy to me. A couple other notes from the press conference. Urgency in the voice of Nebraska OC Dana Holgerson on the subject of adding offensive linemen via the portal. This is very important. And I quote, "We need to bring some guys in," end quote, Holgerson said. There are 2 O-line visitors on campus right now. That this was as of a couple of days ago. He says Holgerson hopes to add those players and reassess. At running back, Nebraska will be without Dante Dowdell next week in New York. He's in the transfer portal. In his place, according to Dana Holgerson, redshirt freshman Quentin Ives is, and I quote, "going to go in there and play his tail off," end quote. Ives has had 9 spectacular practices this month, Holgerson said. By the way, keep an eye out for Dowdell possibly going to Michigan. All right, Dana Holgerson says that tight end Thomas Fedoni has had an excellent December in bowl practices. Nebraska is strong at tight end with the addition of Heinrich Harburg. I still am thinking and hoping they use him like a Taysom Hill type player in our offense. And I quote, "We're not turning this into an air raid 4 wideout program," end quote, the OC says. So those tight ends are important. All right, Nebraska DC John Butler on navigating the transfer portal this month. And I quote, "People say it's like the NFL free agency. It's not, ladies and gentlemen. This is insanity." All right, anyway, here's the rest of his quote. "No, it's not. NFL's free agency is regulated." He phrased it better than I did, end quote. Butler spent 10 seasons as a coach in the NFL before joining the Huskers last summer. All right, Nebraska DC John Butler said the new associate head coach Phil Snow will have a, and I quote, "second set of eyes from a global perspective for the defense," end quote. Nebraska's DC Dana Holgerson had another thought, says Boston College's front seven is experienced, old, and deep, compares it to Iowa's defense. Oh, I thought this was interesting via Steve Sipple. Dannon on the radio earlier this week, Nebraska AD says game in Arrowhead is a win-win-win-win-win all the way around for us. Think about it. We're supposed to have an away game. Now it's a neutral site game. And the game in Indianapolis, where it was going to be played versus Cincinnati to start the season, was much closer to their home field. Arrowhead's much closer to our home field. We're going to have the home field advantage, and we were supposed to have an away game. How could we not love it? All right, ladies and gentlemen, what do I got next? All right, transfer portal updates, the amount of total players in the transfer portal per team in the Big Ten. You just kind of go through the transfer portal as this. Right now, Texas Tech is the top-ranked transfer portal class, and we've lost a player or two to them. Not just us, apparently. Ole Miss, always up there. Number 2, LSU. Number 3, I guess Brian Kelly can attract players with money. All right, at number 7 and 8, via the highest-ranked transfer portal classes, is Wisconsin and Minnesota. Row that boat. Go Lou Fickle. All right, 9 and 10, UCLA, Oregon, a couple of more Big Ten teams. Colorado is only at 14. I'm curious to see what happens at Colorado without Travis Hunter and Shadur Sanders. Genuinely curious. At number 30 is Iowa State. Right behind Iowa State is Nebraska. We have 6 current commits. Let's go through them. All right, as of yesterday, wide receiver Isaiah Hunter. Nebraska added its first offensive player through the transfer portal. Hunter redshirted his first season for Cal before having a stellar 2024 campaign. The 6'2" speedster. He's got some good speed, ladies and gentlemen. Total 40 receptions for 578 yards and 5 TDs, leading Cal in all 3 of those receiving categories. The former 4-star recruit enters Lincoln and still has 3 years of eligibility left. All right, we also added defensive lineman Gabe Moore, who was a top 100 defensive lineman in the country coming out of high school. He redshirted, then he had an injury year, so he's still got 4 years left to play. 6'4", 290 pounds. All right, his senior year of high school. These stats for 1 year are pretty crazy. 39 TFLs, 116 tackles for a D lineman. All right, 12 sacks, 5 forced fumbles. Hopefully we can get more out of him sooner rather than later. All right, punter. With Bushini gone, we needed someone to step up. Jack McAllister. All right, Kevin's long lost brother. That joke never gets old to me. The second special teams addition Nebraska made through the portal. I'll get to the first one here in a second. He booted a 56-yarder in the national championship game versus Michigan a couple of years ago. All right, he also had 12 punts within the 20-yard line of the opponent and averaged 44 yards per punt. He was a 3-year starter for the Huskies. Next up, defensive lineman Jalen George. All right, he enters Lincoln with 2 years of eligibility remaining, earned first team All-Southern Conference honors this past season with the Buccaneers, recording 33 tackles, 6 tackles for loss, and half a sack. All right, long snapper Kevin Golick. My God, did we need a long snapper. Thank you for coming, Kevin. All right, he will have 1 year of eligibility remaining after appearing in 36 games at the FCS level. Here in FCS midseason first-team All-American honors in 2024 is regarded as one of the best long snappers in the country. And our third defensive lineman, Williams and Ware. Real quick, all right, he was a 5-star prospect coming out of high school, the number 7 recruit in the entire country, 2024. We all know that. 4 years of eligibility left. And again, 3 defensive linemen / edge rushers so far out of the 6 current transfer portal commits. Who are some of the folks we're still looking at? The number 2 portal player and number 1 edge rusher, FSU, former Florida State player Patrick Payton. He was committed to Nebraska. Coming out of high school, he's got direct ties. He knows Simpson, the outside linebackers coach. I feel like the odds are in our favor. Think about him and Williams and Ware and him coming off the edge potentially. A lot of talent, at least, there, okay? And as I mentioned, and I'm just going to go through this kind of quickly, but we've also brought in the number 2 offensive tackle in the entire portal, an all-MAC offensive tackle we have offered as well. I've talked about some of these guys in the past. All right, also another offensive tackle, Keegan Trost. All right, Power 4 starting offensive tackle because the ACC is still a Power 4 team, I guess. But he started at Wake Forest. All right, so this is a guy with starting experience out of Power 4 conference, technically. Kentucky wide receiver Dane Key. I've talked about him 4 billion times. Nebraska has made him a priority target, just like Hunter, the guy we signed yesterday. It's really down to Nebraska and another SEC school or two. I know Georgia's in the mix. I know Ole Miss was in the mix for a bit. They brought in a bunch of wide receivers. If we get Dane Key, that'd be pretty awesome. We lost out on the Florida International receiver. But if we could get Dane along with Hunter, that'd be pretty freaking good. Former Idaho DB, highly sought after. Andrew Marshall visited as well. Former Georgia Bulldog, Sam Mpemba, very talented. A boomer bust type player. Someone that Matt Rule could potentially develop into a big-time player, but he's a lot of talent, but boomer bust. We'll see what happens there and who he goes to. A lot of other players as well. Just keep an eye on everything as everything unfolds in the future. Couple of bowl game notes. Isaiah Nayor and Micah Mazuka will not be part of the bowl roster. Nayor has opted out to prepare for the draft while Mazuka had shoulder surgery. A little bit of Nebraska volleyball. And I thought this was interesting from Kevin Stutes because I thought the same thing. I really did. In my opinion, the 2024 Nebraska volleyball team is one of the program's all-time best, perhaps the best not to win a national title. 2007 comes to mind as well. 2024 played at a championship level nearly the entire year. So many times I left Devaney thinking they'd be hosting the trophy. And I agree with a lot of what he just said right there. Here's another transfer portal update. Huskers offered former Oregon/UCLA DB transfer Jalen Davis. He was a former 4-star out of high school, top 10 DB in the 2021 class. He's had 108 tackles, 11 PBUs, 4 INTs, 1 forced fumble, half a sack, and 105 yards in 40 career games, so keep an eye out for him. Now, more on volleyball. Lexi Rodriguez, as I'm sure you saw, set the all-time digs career record for Nebraska, 1,891. I'm sure she finished with more. I don't know the final total, but that was the number to break the record, so shout out to her. You know, every single team in the Final Four had some sort of Nebraska connection. Just think about Penn State. Caroline Juravicius, who's, by the way, her dad, he lives in Lincoln. Joe Juravicius played on that 94 Penn State team that went undefeated, number 2 in the country to number 1 Nebraska. But his daughter was on Nebraska's team, goes to Penn State, and I'll be honest with you, she had a big impact on the match last night. But there's former Husker connections everywhere in this current Final Four. And one person I want to give a specific shout out to, I mean, we basically came in together. She went to volleyball. Her husband, Lane Kelly, was a long snapper for the Huskers. He walked on. We came in together. All right, that's why it's Danny Bus Boom Kelly. So just for those who aren't aware, all right, she was a national title winner in 2006, co-libero of the year also in the Big 12 Conference, an assistant coach for John Cook and the Huskers as well. She's from Cortland, Nebraska. 3-time ACC Coach of the Year, a National Coach of the Year. She's taken Louisville to the Final Four 3 of the past 4 seasons and the National Championship match 2 of the past 3 seasons. I'll be rooting for Louisville, even though Penn State's from the Big Ten. I'm going to be rooting for Louisville on Sunday versus Penn State. This is a cool picture. Husker fans are truly the best. Picture is worth 1,000 words. All right, as far as the match itself, not the way anyone wanted it to go. All right, This is the first time Nebraska's been reverse swept since 1982 versus Purdue. It's the first time Penn State had done it to anybody since 2009 in the national championship match versus Texas. We had 2 match points in set 4. Could have closed it out. Obviously didn't happen. Nobody wants it to go that way. Penn State has 7 national championships. All right, more than any program in the country. And they're playing for their first national championship in 10 years on Sunday. That was the 6th reverse sweep in Final Four history. The 6th team to do it, I should say. Now, I do want to give a shout out to Schumacher Cauley. Prayers for your continued battle with cancer, something she refused to let affect Penn State's championship bid. She is Penn State's head coach, so it's hard not to root for Penn State here too. Whoever wins on Sunday, much love and respect. It's hard not to root for everybody involved. And she has the chance to become the first woman to win an NCAA Division I championship as a head coach. Much respect to John Cook, who has 4 national titles, 12 Final Fours, 15 conference titles, multiple Coach of the Year awards, and an .876 winning percentage. The best winning percentage of any active coach in America. Now, when you think about the NBA, I saw that their viewership was down 19%, but then I looked somewhere else and it said like 40. I don't know. I wasn't interested enough to get confirmation, but it's severely down. Volleyball's setting records. All right, Nebraska's regional final against Wisconsin on ABC had attracted an average viewership of 798,000, the most for a regional. All right, the 2024 NCAA Volleyball Regionals were the most watched on record, 401,000 average viewers, up 98% year over year, included the 5 most watched regional matches ever, and the viewership was up 44% from a year ago. All right, just pretty cool to see volleyball growing. Oh, I apologize for the bad screenshot, but I was just randomly on my laptop, saw this on YouTube. This family, Husker volleyball fan, I should say, bought tickets to the Final Four almost a year ago. You talk about expectations and belief. Love it. All right. I thought this was cool. Former Husker Allie Battenhorst, who transferred to USC, drafted by the Omaha Supernovas, is now back. She said, this is before the match, she goes, I want them to win so bad, end quote. I just thought that was really cool. Again, another random transfer portal update. Sorry for the randomness of this. All right, but this was as I was wrapping up prep for the show. This popped up. Former Ohio State LSU cornerback Jair Brown will be visiting the Huskers, a former 4-star top 20 cornerback in the 2022 class. All right, so we'll see what happens there. Ty Robinson, my favorite player on Nebraska's current team. Again, these aren't my children. I can have favorites. It's okay. Nebraska's Ty Robinson, after 6 years and 46 career starts, will play in a bowl game for the first time next week. And I quote, to be able to represent the N one more time in Yankee Stadium. I'm blessed. I'm honored. It's such a privilege to play for this place. I love this dude. This was awesome. I'm a WWE fan, as you know. WWE signed the University of Nebraska's track and field star Megan Walker to NXT as of yesterday. So this came out a few days ago. But again, it's been a few days since I've done a show. She is set to start her training at the Performance Center. Good luck to her. And this is a fun fact right here, ladies and gentlemen. Nebraska has a more recent bowl win than Colorado. Turner Gill plays shortstop for Nebraska. Did you know that? I didn't know that. All right. And this has been confirmed. All right. There is a team in the college football playoff that is actively paying its players to stay through the playoffs so they just have enough players to practice. That's insanity to me. And prayers up for Jack Hoffman and the Hoffman family. If you haven't seen this, please pray for Jack and his family now more than ever, as his recent scan showed multiple new tumor locations. For the latest update on Jack, visit what's on your screen. Thoughts and prayers to Jack, his family. Oh, Skip Bayless. I don't know what you think of Skip, but I thought this was asinine. All right. Was Coach Prime snubbed for Coach of the Year? Skip Bayless. How do you snub Coach Prime on a season that no other coach could have had or accomplished with his team? I don't know. Maybe because Kurt Signetti won Coach of the Year because he took Indiana from 3-9 to 11-1. They had more total wins this year, the Hoosiers did, than the past 3 years combined. More Big Ten Conference wins this year than they did the past 3 years combined. If you want to argue the Coach of the Year the past 2 years, where Colorado went from 1-11 2 years ago to on the verge of winning a conference title in the college football playoff, that's a different conversation I'll listen to. But I'll tell you right now, I don't think he was snubbed in any way, shape, or form. Think about this. When it comes to Nebraska volleyball, they have 4 All-Americans. By the way, good luck to Lexi Rodriguez. She's one of the 4 finalists for the National Player of the Year, the first ever libero ever named the AVCA Regional Player of the Year. She's also up for National Player of the Year. But of the 4 All-Americans on Nebraska's volleyball team, Andy Jackson, Lexi Rodriguez, all right, Harper Murray, and Bergen Riley, 3 of them are sophomores. Nebraska will be back. Here are my quick predictions for the college football playoff. Notre Dame over Indiana, Texas over Clemson, Penn Penn State over SMU, Ohio State over Tennessee. But I got some upsets in the next round. Boise over Penn State. Georgia's got a backup quarterback. Arizona State's got 12 players in the transfer portal. Maybe Ohio State over Oregon in the rematch. Ohio State plays differently after they lose to Michigan and any team that's not Michigan. Check out the website, CarrikerChronicles.com. Follow me on X, follow me on TikTok, follow me on Facebook. And here are my 3 questions for you fine folks at home. Let me know your answer in the comments below. Number 1, did Deion Sanders, was he screwed in the Coach of the Year voting? Or should Kurt Cignetti have won it? Or even Kenny Dillingham, Kurt Cignetti did win it. Or Kenny Dillingham, who was 34 years old and Arizona State was picked preseason to finish 16th in the Big 12 and won the conference title. Number 2, do you feel better or worse about Nebraska's NIL and transfer portal class right now this week than you did this time last week? Yes or no? Let me know. Last but certainly not least, do you think Nebraska's coaching staff will be better this year than it was last year? Until next time, go Big Red, and always remember to throw the ball.
Your Christmas list changes a lot as you get older. Dreams of video games, remote control cars, and baseball gloves turn into dreams of shoes. You know, practical things. Brown Shoe Fit is the king of shoes in Lincoln, with brands like Sorel, Ugg, Brooks, Hoka, and more to make you fashionable and comfortable. Grab a new Ridge wallet or buy 3, get 1 free on smart wool socks for the ultimate stocking stuffer. And don't forget a reliable gift card for that hard-to-buy person in your life. Brown Shoe Fit at 66th and Q in Lincoln.
Carriker Services takes this time to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and Happy Holiday Season. They are thankful for many things this year and every year, and hope that everyone is able to enjoy time with family and friends during this joyful celebration. This important message comes to you from Bart and the folks at Carriker Services, your vending specialists here in Lincoln. Their quality service and expertise has earned them a fine reputation. That's Carriker Services, on the air because they care.
With a Planet Fitness Black Card, you don't just get a great workout, you get a great perk out because your membership is packed with perks. For $1 down and $24.99 a month, you'll get perks like access to any of our 2,400 clean and spacious locations. Bring a friend anytime and both work out with tons of equipment that'll give you that big fitness energy. Relax in the Black Card spa and more. Work out and perk out with the PF Black Card. Join for just $1 down and $24.99 a month. Hurry, this deal ends soon. See Home Club for details.
Golfing in 72 degrees and perfect conditions in Nebraska doesn't seem possible in December, but it is. Double Eagle Golf is your escape from the bone-chilling cold outside and a reason to keep the clubs out year-round. Book your holiday parties at Double Eagle Golf and make plans to join them for a New Year's Eve party. Gift cards make a great stocking stuffer for Christmas, and don't forget to look ahead to 2025 as spring leagues begin in February. That's all at Double Eagle Golf, inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street. Online at doubleeagle.golf.
You never think cancer will happen to you. I smoked for over 40 years. My doctor recommended that I get annual lung cancer screening. They were able to catch my cancer at stage 1. It's never too late to quit. Even if you're still smoking, you need to ask your doctor about annual lung cancer screening. Just 30 minutes a year could save your life.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled, high-end wine bar. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for wine, beer, spirits, and cigars. Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Husker Nation, Nebraska is heading to the Pinstripe Bowl, and J-Tech Construction and Solar is here to help you score big on your home this season. Buy any 2 trades, windows, siding, roofing, solar, gutters, or doors, and save up to 20% off. Don't wait until the final whistle. Act now. J-Tech delivers expert craftsmanship and unbeatable savings for your home. Whether it's a new roof, energy-efficient windows, or solar panels that power your home like a champion, they've got you covered. Call 402-261-3682 to schedule your free estimate today. J-Tech Construction and Solar, proud sponsors of Husker football.
New year, new you? Barrel's Extreme Body Shaping can help make sure you keep that resolution this time. Our proven system combines kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition, along with our expert coaching to make sure you're moving forward toward your goals. The next 10-week challenge starts January 11th. But if you enroll now, you can start today and get a head start on those gains for no extra cost. Plus, head to fxblincoln.com and you can save $100. Don't wait. Barrels Extreme Body Shaping at 40th and Yankee Hill and 70th and Vine.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
League One Volleyball is coming to Omaha this January. Featuring Olympic medalist Jordan Larson and Justine Wong-Arantes, Love Omaha Volleyball is Omaha's newest pro team. The inaugural season will showcase some of the world's best volleyball players, from medalists to NCAA champions and international superstars, with the action kicking off on January 24th at the Liberty First Credit Union Arena. Visit LOVB.com for more information and to purchase tickets. Volleyball is the next major league.
This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back in studio on the Adam Carriker Show. Adam is out. A few people will be out this week as there seems to be a holiday or something going on here this week. But I am Jake Bachman alongside Enrique Alvarez Clary. And we will wrap up this show. We still got a few segments to get to. And we'll need to talk about, of course, Nebraska's bowl game coming up this Saturday in the Pinstripe Bowl. Will be against Boston College. Nebraska basketball out getting things done in Hawaii. They might even play on Christmas Day. And I did want to ask Rico about his trip as Nebraska volleyball did fall short. Of course, this what was that, Thursday?
Sure.
Yeah. All the days are kind of running together now. But Rico, how was your trip out to Louisville? I know Nebraska didn't win, but still, it was probably a pretty cool experience to go out there and see. Well, a lot of red. There was Louisville red and Nebraska red.
It was a fantastic experience, and if anybody ever has a chance to catch any type of event inside the Yum Center, I recommend going. It is a beautiful venue. Fantastic. Walking all around. Downtown Louisville is a great place. It was my first time in Louisville, so great time there. Wish I would have stayed a little bit longer and been able to check out some more of the monuments and such. And there's the Louisville Slugger Museum was a couple blocks away. The Muhammad Ali Museum was down there as well, and Churchill Downs is really close to the Louisville campus. So it would have been really great. Plus, Nebraska would have been playing in the championship, but a really good trip. Got a lot of good content out of that. And shout out to all the sponsors that made it happen. So
yeah, absolutely. And of course, Nebraska did come up short there. On the basketball side, you had to stay up late if you're going to watch it.
Yeah.
Last night in Honolulu, Nebraska beat Murray State 66-49. They move on to play Hawaii this evening. Interesting game. Connor Season, I think you would say, led the way with 5 3-pointers and 15 points. But Nebraska basketball off and running, doing well. Hopefully they can finish out and win the Diamond Head Classic tournament. But again, they will be playing on Christmas, one way or the other. How do you feel about the Husker basketball playing on Christmas? Is it going to get your attention?
Probably not. I'm probably not going to be watching much sports on Christmas. I will be with my family in Omaha. I'll catch a little bit here and there of stuff going on. I'll pay attention to. I'll pay attention to the scores.
Yeah.
But we have college basketball. NFL's decided to take Christmas. Also, the NBA yearly plays on Christmas. I know the Knicks are playing the Spurs on Christmas, which I'll pay attention to that. Obviously, that's my squad. But there's a lot going on Christmas aside from just hanging out with family. If you're into sports, so it's going to be quite an interesting day, to say the least.
Yeah, and I think sometimes we forget that too. Like even Nebraska's bowl team, obviously going up there. You sacrifice the holidays. You sacrifice Christmas this season. Obviously this year for your team, and it's probably not the biggest deal in the long run.
Well, you get your family up there with you wherever the bowl game is. I'm sure that a lot of them would much rather have spent their Christmases either at home or in a warmer climate. But Christmas in New York doesn't seem terrible.
Yeah,
I've seen the pictures. It looks fantastic. I don't know if I'd want to go because I feel like there's a lot of people that go to New York for Christmas, and I feel like there's a lot going on and more traffic than usual. So maybe it seems like Magic was in here earlier. He's like, it's like a once a year thing, or you just have to do it once in your life. Go up to New York for Christmas and for New Year's and just do it once in your life. And you'll be like, yeah, that was good.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's what I would think too, is if I was going up for the bowl game, I would stay for the ball to drop.
Yeah.
But that's one thing to say. It's another thing to book
To
3 more
actually
hotels in New York.
Yeah.
3 more nights of
couple more
hotels.
days.
Yeah.
Plus, you'll get that a lot of people are going to go up there for New Year's. So I'm sure the hotels are like, hey, let's bump these prices up a bit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so that will be fun. What are you looking forward to as far as that bowl game coming around the corner? Nebraska in Boston College. I've been saying it. I'm a little confused that Nebraska's favored according to the point spread. I know according to ESPN's projector or whatever, they're about even. I think Boston College has got a slight favorite there, but I'm just kind of surprised to see that Boston College finished off the year pretty strong, had some solid victories in the ACC. As we know, Nebraska did not finish off the year so strong. As usual, playing in close games, did beat Wisconsin, but still a 1-5 finish to the season. I'm surprised about the narrative around this bowl game.
I'm also confused as to why Nebraska is favored in this one. Like, I understand that, Nebraska's had the hype all year, but yeah, like you said, they didn't finish the year too terribly strong. They got the win against Wisconsin and then fell to Iowa, as they do almost yearly. So it's strange, but Boston College, and you could say, oh, well, it's because Boston College doesn't have their quarterback because Castellanos, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, Castellanos is transferring to Florida State, I believe, is where he's going. But they haven't had him for most of the season. They've been running with their backup quarterback for most of the season, and he's done a pretty good job. So I'm not exactly sure why Boston College is not the favorite. Plus, you have Nebraska losing practically their entire defensive line to the transfer portal. So it's going to be quite interesting to see what Nebraska trots out there. But I'm really excited to see the youth movement. I'm really excited to see the younger guys because even if you've played in 4 games, this isn't going to count against your red shirt. So you've got guys who have played in 4 games. You've got guys who maybe haven't played all that much or at all this season who have been showing out in practice. This is the time where Nebraska might be able to break out a couple more of its weapons on offense and a couple more of its weapons on defense and kind of show off and say, hey guys, this is what we have. This is the future of Nebraska football right here. So I'm really interested in seeing the youth movement for Nebraska. Obviously the older guys, and seeing the final game for Ty Robinson and Nash Hutmaker will be amazing. But I really excited to see the younger guys get their shine and see what they can do and what they can put out there on film.
Yeah, there's certainly a lot of intriguing storylines going into it. Of course, Heinrich Harburg practicing at tight end full time now, no longer in the quarterback room. I always say break in case of emergency if they necessarily need it.
He's your third string.
Yeah.
Jalen Gramstad.
Which, by the way, and we all hope this doesn't happen. Obviously, you want Dylan Raiola to lead
Yes.
Nebraska to victory and have plenty of momentum going into next
Are you
year.
asking
But
me how I feel about Gramstad?
well, I'm just saying, I think that this, all along, it seems to be like this storybook setup. There could be, how about Jalen Gramstad getting the opportunity maybe to play some snaps? I don't know if it'll happen. Again, I think only injury would be the reason that it would get in here. But, it's New York. It's a storybook setting. Perhaps we see Jalen Gramstad lead Nebraska to victory.
Jalen Gramstad. You just have Dylan Raiola. He's just playing really well in the first quarter, and they just pull him, and there's a comeback, and they're like, no, we're not putting Dylan back in. Jalen, you lead us to victory. That would be a storybook ending for him. I believe he grew up a Husker fan.
Yeah,
and then playing quarterback. Now he's the backup quarterback for Nebraska in a bowl game that they haven't played in quite some time, or they haven't played in a bowl game in quite some time, and now he's the backup. Anything could happen. It would be a storybook ending, although it would be kind of sad to not have Dylan finish the game, unless it's a blowout. I mean, there is that aspect to it.
Yeah. So, we'll see. Obviously, there's a lot of questions up in the air. Do you expect the offense to take quite a jump? Obviously, I think that the biggest blessing of this bowl game is not just the bowl game itself, but the bowl practices you get with your offensive coordinator who you've had for a month, with your defensive coordinator who's now stepping in. Was at one time the interim defensive coordinator for the bowl game. Now that's going to translate over into next season. So I think even more than the players and some of the young guys getting opportunities, just a good look at what Nebraska will look like coordinator-wise going into next season. And at this point, it's not a full season under his belt. There's obviously some things that you have to work around, but you should be getting a pretty good look of what Dana Holgerson's offense will look like.
Yeah, the offensive side of things is going to be really interesting because you've seen the offense kind of take steps to more success as the season has gone on from that USC matchup till the end of the season. outside of that terrible showing against Iowa, but that, it's just Iowa. I don't know what they do. It's just a magical time at night at Kinnick. So things just happen there. Teams go in there and they lose. It's not Nebraska's fault. I don't know. There's magic in the air in Kinnick. So, but things have been trending in the right direction. Again, like you said, you've got more time with him with these bowl practices. Maybe you'll see a couple more not fancy. What's the word I'm looking at? There's just more movement or something on the offensive side of things. You might get Ja'Cory Barney more involved. You've got Emmett Johnson, who was in the portal, now is out of the portal. Seems like the kind of running back that Dana Holgorsen really likes to use in the offenses that he's coordinated in the past. And then you have Ramir Johnson back, who, again, is kind of the same type of running back that Dana Holgorsen seems to like to use. And you've got him, I believe, at full health going into this one. His final game in a Nebraska uniform. And then, all of the younger guys, the young weapons at wide receiver. And now you'll probably get a little bit more of Carter Nelson at tight end with the departure of Nate Borkacher going to Texas A&M. So, like you said, that the offense is going to, I believe it's going to take another step forward. I don't know if that's a step up and it leads to Nebraska scoring like 42 points or something, but I do believe that it's going to look smoother at the very least.
Yeah, I think that's part of the expectation going into this one. Nebraska's offense looks pretty good. Hopefully, and the Nebraska defense is definitely a question mark too, with all the departures in that front seven, new defensive coordinator.
I say the play calling and the way that they play, I don't see much changing. I mean, John Butler's been here the entire season, but who is in those positions and who is making the plays is going to be much different than we've seen this year.
All right, let's take a quick break. We've got one more segment here on the Adam Carriker Show. Of course, this is the somewhat of a Christmas edition. We've got Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday off. So we're getting ready for the bowl game, getting ready for the holidays. We'll be back on 93.7 The Ticket after this.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see decreasing clouds throughout the day with light winds and a high around 50. Tonight, mainly clear skies with patchy fog developing late. See a low near 27. And tomorrow morning, fog expected to give way to mainly sunny skies for the afternoon. We'll see a high near 44. I'm meteorologist Kyle Carriker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
League One Volleyball is coming to Omaha this January. Featuring Olympic medalist Jordan Larson and Justine Wong-Arantes, Love Omaha Volleyball is Omaha's newest pro team. The inaugural season will showcase some of the world's best volleyball players, from medalists to NCAA champions and international superstars, with the action kicking off on January 24th at the Liberty First Credit Union Arena. Visit LOVB.com for more information and to purchase tickets. Volleyball is the next major league.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
The Mill Coffee and Tea, formerly with only 4 Lincoln locations, now 5 Lincoln locations. That's 25% more locations than there used to be. Can you even imagine a world where there's only 4 Lincoln Mill locations? That feels like ages ago. We were all so young then. The Mill on 11th, located right alongside the 93.7 The Ticket Studios on O Street. Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road. As a proud member of the Roofing and Solar Reform Alliance, Coalition Restoration stands out by providing thorough property assessments, personalized customer service, and top-notch craftsmanship. With years of experience in the industry, Coalition Restoration has built a notable reputation for having a team filled with skilled professionals and possessing the expertise to handle any roofing project, big or small. Visit their website today for a free roof assessment at www.coalitionrestoration.com or give them a call at 402-607-8186.
Slay the holidays this year with a gift that'll really get them going. One that's built to win, like the new Honda CRF-R Motocrosser. One that's built for fun, like a Honda Mini Moto. Or one for each member of the family, like a Honda CRF Trail Bike. At Rod's Power Sports, you'll find the motorcycle, ATV, or side-by-side they'll love. During the Honda Gifts That Go sales event, you can slay the streets in style with a Grom Mini Moto, slay the trails with the CRF 50F, or pile into a Pioneer 1006 Deluxe Crew that can carry 6 elves over the fields and through the woods all year long. This year, don't just give any gift. Give the gift of outdoor adventure with a ride they'll never forget. Don't miss out. Head to Rod's Power Sports in Lincoln, Nebraska during the Honda Gifts That Go sales event. It's your chance to slay the holidays and your gift list. Dealer participation may vary. See dealer for complete program and safety details.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
It's the holiday season. Time for work parties, friend get-togethers, family gatherings, which means lots of eating. Maybe you think you've perfected your holiday meals, and maybe you have no idea where to even start. Let's fix that right now. No holiday party is complete without Führer's cheese spread. It goes well with any type of cracker, pretzels, apples, chili, vegetables, chips, and of course, it's perfect to pair with wine or beer. Holiday meals aren't complete until Führer's cheese spread is on the table. Find your own container at your nearest local grocery store today.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
At Koppel, during the holidays, we take time to cherish our terrific staff, community, and loyal customers that continue to drive that money-saving mile to Louisville, Nebraska. Hi, this is Sean Callahan. I can proudly say I bought my car at Koppel. If you are in the area, I invite you to stop by Koppel Chevrolet GMC's offices in Louisville or check them out online at koppelcars.com. On behalf of Koppel Chevrolet GMC, Merry Christmas and safe travels to all.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Well, welcome back into the Adam Carriker Show here on 93.7 The Ticket. I'm Jake Bachman, sitting in alongside Enrique Alvarez, Clary, Adam Carriker on a little bit of holiday break here as we all plan to take a break. Just so you know, program note, moving forward Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we'll have some replays on here as we take some time off for the holidays. Rico, what are your plans for the holidays? Are you excited for Christmas? Is it one of your favorites?
I do enjoy Christmas. I do a lot of delicious food, just spending time with family, and just a whole lot of nothing going on, which is fantastic. So we're, except for the fact that I have to drive all over the damn state. We'll be in Central City tomorrow. We'll be in Omaha the following day, and then we're gonna head up to Orchard for the weekend. So
you're probably appreciative of no white Christmas. Easier roads.
I would much rather, like, I want it to snow when I'm done and home. Like then it can snow. Like when I come back on Sunday, as soon as I park the car in the garage, then it could just all the snow. It's fine. I'm good with it.
See, I do like a white Christmas, but I don't like any white after Christmas, basically. So I mean, maybe a week or so. It's still in the Christmas mood.
My thing is, if it's gonna be cold, it might as well snow.
Yeah.
Like if it's gonna be negative whatever, or if it's gonna be like single digit degrees, it might as well snow. Like don't just hit me with 3 degrees and wind and concrete. Like, what are we doing? Like, at least put some snow out there so I can be like, that's why it's cold.
Yeah.
There's frozen water on the ground.
Well, and it's weird. It's funny too. Just like growing up in Nebraska, that's part of it. Like snow, Christmas. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
But I always kind of thought, just like grow up in warmer climates, like, how do you guys really celebrate Christmas if there's no snow?
Like you're chilling in Florida on Christmas. You're like, yes, we put lights on our palm trees. Like, what
That's
are you
right,
doing?
they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just like, Santa Gator is here. What are you doing? What are you doing, Florida?
You don't know what Christmas is.
You don't understand. The reindeer are too hot. They can't. Santa's reindeer can't go down to Florida. It's too hot. I don't know who's delivering the presents down there. I really don't.
Yeah,
I
I
know
don't
it's not
know.
Santa. He's too big.
I've always wondered.
Start sweating.
Seems like a big project to take on overnight, but I don't know.
Yeah. Ridiculous.
Be some
He's got to be
magic there.
teleporting. He has to be. There's no way he moves that fast and all the presents stay just in the sleigh.
And how does he eat that many cookies? I know he takes a little bit of a bite off of each.
Yeah.
one, but-
I don't think he eats all of the cookies. He just eats some of the cookies.
No,
he
he
drinks
eats part of the cookies I leave out.
Yeah, he just I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. Santa never really ate all the cookies that I put out. Ridiculous. It took like a bite.
Best Christmas gift you've ever gotten.
Oh, that's a tough one.
You usually have to go back to your childhood.
It's 100% back in my childhood. I believe my grandpa got me a PS2 back when they came out.
Yeah,
so
that'd be nice.
I think that might be one of them. My wife actually got me an iPad this year for
How do you know?
for work because I got it early because I took it down to Louisville with me.
An early Christmas.
Yeah, it was an early because she was like, "This is for Christmas, but I know that you're going to use it, so here." So
Nice.
So there we go.
That's pretty good.
Which is really nice. It's
Yeah.
a really nice iPad. I think that's about it. I can't think of really much else.
You know, my wife, or I guess it was my girlfriend, got me a
wife and your girlfriend.
Can't remember if it was my wife or my girlfriend, but somebody, anyways, got me an iPad when I was going into college. I was like, yeah, this is the new thing. Everybody's going to use it. So this is absolutely what I need. I never used it.
I just used it to play games.
Yeah, like this is just like a bigger cell phone. I just use my cell phone.
This is like my phone, but I can't call anybody. I can FaceTime. I can't call anybody on this thing.
Yeah, I was tricked. I was told apps were the future. I guess the apps were.
Should have invested in Apple back when we had the chance. You know.
Oh yes.
We were like not even teenagers.
I always thought, when I was younger, I said, I would invest in Google. I think that's a good company.
That's a good one.
I should have done that.
Yeah. Should have bought a house back when I was like 5. Would have been so much cheaper.
Yeah, that would have been
ridiculous.
a good idea.
I don't know what I was doing.
You
guys try? Anybody out there is trying to buy a house?
Oof.
You're in the same boat as me. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
it sucks.
You've been trying to buy a house for like 3 years.
No, I mean, not trying. I've been looking at houses, but we've been like actively trying for like maybe a year.
I know.
And it's,
I was
I mean, you're not,
exaggerating.
but you're not wrong.
Yeah.
Like, even if I would have started 3 years ago, it still would have sucked.
Yeah. It's a tough time for the housing market.
Somebody should buy me a house for Christmas. I would
That'd be a
appreciate
good gift,
I'd
yeah.
appreciate you immensely. I'm talking to you out there, listener base. I know
Yes.
some of y'all got money. Come on. Hook a brother up.
Yeah, that's probably not going to happen. Sorry to deflate your hopes
free
there.
advertising. Buy me a free advertising. There you go. That's what I'll do for you. I wouldn't do that. That's illegal.
Yeah, you can't do that.
We wouldn't do that.
Big Bird said he was in Hawaii one year. It was weird seeing all the Christmas decorations while wearing shorts and flip flops.
That is kind of weird.
Yeah.
Like it's the warm weather, and you think of Christmas, and you think of snow and the Christmas tree, like the evergreens, and like all of this stuff. And then you're in like a warm weather, you're in like Louisiana, and it's like a swamp.
Yeah,
And you're like, this is not. They're like, just people have their Christmas decorations on their houses, and like you see Christmas trees, but you're outside and the rain is warm, and you're it's raining, it's not snowing, and you're in flip flops and shorts, and it's like, what is happening?
Yeah,
This is not Christmas.
I don't know if I'd travel somewhere cold specifically for Christmas, but it would help the
Yeah.
spirit.
Well, I mean, like I said, people travel to New York for Christmas.
Yeah, that's true.
And depending on where you're from, it could be colder than where you're at. I don't know if New York's. I'm pretty sure it's colder now in New York than it is here. But yeah, it's just more. I don't know. For anybody that hasn't experienced it in person, like you can see it on like Hallmark movies and stuff. But like snow and Christmas lights, it just completes the whole thing. Like when you have the snow falling and you see the Christmas lights and the snow, it just makes Christmas complete.
Yeah, if you want to go outside on Christmas, it just doesn't make sense.
No, and then
Can't
you're
do
out there and you're just walking on grass.
Yeah.
What are you doing? If you're barefoot walking outside on Christmas, it's not Christmas.
That's right.
Sorry.
You losers.
Those are the rules.
In Hawaii and
Yeah.
Florida and all
How
that.
dare you, South America?
That's right. Warm weather climates.
Ecuador, you never get snow. Ridiculous.
All right, that'll wrap it up for the Adam Carriker Show. We will continue. We've got the locker room coming up next, but Chancellor Brewington is out today, so it'll be myself and Rico continuing to ask for your house donations.
There you go.
That's right. Coming
There
up
it
next on 93.7 The Ticket.
This is Lincoln's home for sports.